Hello and welcome to our new partner orientation for the Coach program. My name is Chad Rifflin. I'm the Director of Programs and Grants for Consumer Credit Counseling Service of Rochester, and we're very happy that you applied for the Coach program and are hoping that this will be something that is of great support to you and will be a fit for your goals. Throughout this orientation, we are going to help you understand what the Coach program is all about and go through the orientation process to get you officially enrolled and accepted as a participant. So throughout the rest of the presentation, we are going to talk about number one, the Coach program, its structure and components so you know what to expect. Secondly, we're going to describe a little bit about the role of the coach and how that's different than a financial counselor. Coaches are not financial counselors. They actually don't give financial advice, but they do serve a very important role in helping individuals to achieve their financial goals. Thirdly, we'll go over our meeting structure and what happens during our group coach meetings and one-on-one time with coaches, what the commitment actually is that we will require participants to agree to, and then finally, we're going to walk you through your pre-assessment. That's what actually has to be completed in order to be officially accepted into the Coach program. When you received your Coach program orientation invitation, you should have received a partner manual that contains important paperwork about the program along with the resources that we provide to you. If you did not receive that attachment, please contact us to receive a copy. You can either send me an email as you see up on the screen, or you can call me directly and I'll be sure that you get that information because that will be very important and helpful throughout the duration of the program. So first off, we're going to talk about the Cash Coach program, give you some history and understanding as to how it came together and what our aim and focus is overall. The Coach program was actually created in 2005 as a pilot program to help individuals who are working on specific financial goals to get the support and resources they need to be able to achieve those goals. It's a collaboration or a partnership between CASH, which stands for Creating Assets and Hope, and Consumer Credit Counseling Service of Rochester. So together we bring individuals together with support and coaches who will help them on their track towards those goals and to be able to achieve greater financial independence. So long term, we are hoping that you'll be able to improve your finances and stay on track with the things that you are looking to accomplish, and that you're able to enact those changes that need to be made that can be so difficult to do, and to facilitate that through increasing your knowledge, increasing all of the things that are available to you to help you to be successful. Additionally, the goals for the Coach program are to provide financial coaching, kind of goes without saying, also provide financial education, and really have everyone who's participating, what we call partners, experience some increases in very important areas, what we would call outcomes. And we look at how we're helping individuals to improve their savings to debt. So in other words, improving savings while at the same time decreasing debt, as well as how well they're able to improve financial management practices that they want to begin to employ, and most importantly, achieve the financial goals that they have set for themselves. And in a moment here, we're going to talk through what is a great way to establish financial goals that are meaningful and help to set direction for your finances. So next, let's talk about the role of the coach. And I'm just going to reiterate again, as we mentioned before, that a coach is different than a financial planner or a financial counselor. And one of the great strengths that we have with the Coach program is that we have those types of roles, we have those types of individuals who are coordinating and supporting the program. So those individuals who are coaches don't have to have a whole ton of financial expertise. They really need to know how to coach someone, which is a role that pretty much anybody can fulfill if they're willing to learn the right tools and the right approach, and that's what we're going to get into right now. So let's take a look at the role of a financial coach. A financial coach operates a little bit differently than
any other type of expert who's offering financial advice, in that they are giving encouragement, they're offering guidance, information, and options to someone who is working on specific financial goals. Of course, the similarities are that it's confidential. We have a saying that what's said in the coaching program stays in the coaching program. So we follow very specific confidentiality procedures, but at the same time, we're really working hard to encourage folks to take the steps that they know they want to take and know how to take, and giving people the power and support to do that. And then lastly, as I mentioned a moment ago, the program really focuses on reaching financial goals and structuring all of the different supports, the answers to the questions that we give around that goal piece. Often when someone has a question about something related to their finances, whether it be their credit score or getting out of debt, the first question that we ask is, well, what is your goal? What is it that you are trying to accomplish? Because the answer to those questions can change depending upon what that goal is for each individual.
Next, we're going to describe the program structure of the coach program so you know what to expect, what types of resources will be available to you, and what topics we will address, as well as what happens in our group meetings and what the commitment is like that you would be involved with, along with the supports that are available to you. So the coach program is a 9-month program that's structured through monthly group meetings, with the focus being on one-on-one time that is spent between participants and their coaches. The meetings are generally held the second Wednesday of every month from 5:30 to 7:30, and each month covers a specific topic that we have found to be very important to individuals going through the program. It starts with an exploration of how we interact with money. We call this You and Your Money. And during that time, we do some assessments of our money personality, and we have a group discussion about some of the experiences that we've had with money, because that is so vastly different for all of us, and it's important to have perspective on where we're coming from. In the second month, we dig right into budgeting, saving, and planning, and we start to build an outlook for our future. Having a vision for our future is so important, and beginning to dip our toes into the subject of budgeting is also going to be very crucial from the start. Then we start to help you plan for how you might approach debt. We take a look at ways to assess debt, understand the best options depending upon the type of debt that we have, and the strategies that will work depending upon the different types of debt that we have. Then in the fourth month, we start getting into better spending habits, and we give tips on things like couponing and different ways to approach our spending so that we can stay in control and maximize our opportunities. We're usually around tax time by the 5th month, so that's top of mind for many of us. And we go over various tax filing strategies so that you can reduce your costs when it comes to filing taxes, and make sure that you are planning how to use that tax refund in the best way possible to reach your goals. As we start nearing the latter half of the program, then we get into building credit, which is one of our areas of expertise here at Consumer Credit Counseling, so we certainly enjoy getting into that topic. We go over your credit report, how to understand it, obtain it, read it. Then we get into actual credit score and building strategies for improving your credit score and getting your credit into the place where you want it to be. We also bring in different experts to talk about home ownership. Many of our participants have home ownership as a goal, or they might have homes where they need to understand how to maximize their opportunities with their home. And then finally, we talk about what's next. How do we plan for the future to start building into the things that are going to help us to have more financial independence as we increase in these areas that we've been working with, such as retirement and emergency savings. So we just spoke about all of the different elements that will be incorporated within the program. You'll also be receiving encouragement messages throughout the month as you're participating and coming up to those different topics that we just mentioned before. Now we want to also help you understand what takes place at our group meetings. You'll find the actual program schedule dates and times in your binder, or again, the resources that we emailed to you previously with this orientation invitation. At each group meeting, the first half hour starts off with a topic that is presented either through a video or through an actual in-person presentation. And then the second half an hour will be a support group session. This is where coaches and partners get together in small groups, and they will dig in a little bit deeper into the topic that was presented during that first half hour. There will be a lot of discussion, different exercises and activities that will help everyone to explore more of what needs to be learned, gain more understanding, and feel more empowered to take what they need to move forward. And then the last hour, and this is bolded because it is the most important part of the program and the reason why the program exists, we have our one-on-one meeting time between partners and coaches. We'll give private space to individuals who might need it. We have different counseling offices that can be utilized here. And that's where everyone can focus in on their specific situation, their specific goals, and continue to move that conversation forward about the things that they have been working on throughout the time of the coach program. Now we're going to go over the required commitment for the program. We want to make sure that everybody who's coming into the program has a clear understanding of what they're getting involved with and what our practice of operation is. So we're going to go over those different components and help you understand that right now. Since the coach program is based so heavily on monthly meeting attendance, we do ask that all participants attend the monthly meetings. That is a required part of the program. We understand that there can be circumstances that are unavoidable, and we're certainly going to do our best to be understanding of that. So we ask that absences be communicated to your coach as soon as possible. If there are too many, that can result in termination from the program, although we always do our best not to have to go that route. But more often than not, we want to make sure people are getting the best support that they need. Finally, we ask that you also work to complete any quote homework assignment as needed. That would be if there's something that you're working on for your budget, all the progress that you're trying to make, of course, that you make the appropriate effort. Again, we're not going to try to beat anyone up if they're having challenges or struggles. We're here to support you in that. But the main point here is that this is a program that someone should be engaged in. They should be attempting to make the right effort to put forth the required steps to move ahead. And that's what we want to partner with you on. So that's what we're asking for with your commitment. And then the second half of this commitment piece that we want you to be aware of is that coaches cannot give financial or legal advice. Again, they're there to be individuals who are your champion, are someone who you can reflect with, are there to encourage you, to support you, and to help you to stay accountable to the things that you are committing to do when it comes to the work on your personal finances. Coaches are there to give you resources, coaching, and encouragement is their primary role. As a participant, you are assuming total responsibility for your financial decisions, and you are also going to authorize Consumer Credit Counseling Service of Rochester to pull a credit report and score as needed for measurement and tracking purposes. So that's how we're able to first help you understand the progress that you are making, but also communicate the impact that the program has for participants to our funders and the folks who support the program. That's always done anonymously, but we do need some sort of measuring tool, and we found that the credit report and score is one of the best ways that we can do that to see reductions in debt as well as improvements to those scores. And we have seen tremendous differences made over the years. On average, each participant improves their savings to debt by a few $1,000s. and we've had individuals improve their credit scores on average by at least 25 points. So there's great impact that's made, and of course we want you to know the progress that you make and be able to communicate that to those who support the program. Okay, for the final part now, we're going to give you instruction on how to complete your pre-assessment. This is what will trigger us to know that you do want to be in the program and to officially accept you in the program once you complete this and you hit send. So it's very important that you complete this process and that you communicate with us if you're having any trouble completing this along the way. So your partner pre-assessment is going to be completed online using something called SurveyMonkey. The link to the pre-assessment is right there on the screen and will likely have been in your application acceptance email as well. If you cannot get access to the link, please contact us and we will provide that to you. Or if you're unable to complete this online, we can, as an alternative, give you paper forms to complete, although that might take a little bit longer. This is a confidential assessment. The information only comes to the program coordinators and will be shared with your coach once your coach is assigned and upon your agreement to participate in the program. There are 3 parts to the assessment. First is the financial management scale. Next is the savings to debt. And finally would be your financial goals, which of course is the most important part. So we're going to review each of those right now and explain how you should complete those in the SurveyMonkey form. The financial management scale is a tool that we use to understand what types of different financial activities and behaviors you are engaged with right now. So this requires some reflection on your part of your own financial habits. It's definitely a great practice to go through, and we will ask you to complete this also at the end of the program, and it allows us to compare any improvements or changes that you made in these different areas. The one most important thing about this assessment is that you answer according to what your current situation is right now, not what you think is ideal, because everyone would just answer strongly agree for every question, and then this really wouldn't help us to measure changes, as I mentioned before. There's approximately 15 of those questions. They're pretty short. As you can see on the screen, there's an example. I used cost-cutting techniques such as coupons. So if you always do that, you would probably answer agree or strongly agree. If you never do that, you would probably answer disagree or strongly disagree. So pretty simple, and again, fairly quick because they're mostly top of mind type things that you don't have to think too deeply about. The next section will be the savings to debt comparison or calculation. This allows us to compare where you're at right now when it comes to your current savings and your current debt. Again, this is something you'll complete at the end of the program so we can compare the improvements that were made. As I mentioned before, on average, participants in the program have improved this particular area by a few $1,000s. So it shows the real impact that people are able to make in paying down debt and increasing their savings through the support of the coach program. So we ask that you answer each of the questions that are there according to your best estimates if actual figures are not available. Some of you might have access to information about your bank savings account or retirement account or something similar to that, or to the debts that you have. If not, please use your best estimates and try to answer as accurately as possible for each of the categories that will be presented. So as you can see the example there, number 16, it says, how much do you have saved for your emergency fund? If you don't have anything saved for an emergency fund, of course you would put 0. We want it to be as accurate as possible, or whatever the amount might actually be. The system will actually do calculations of totals. You don't have to worry about doing math at the end. We would just like you to capture those different things that you have for savings and for debts so that we're able to, again, demonstrate the impact and improvements that you'll make in those areas throughout the course of the program. And lastly, the final and most important piece of the survey is your financial goals. This will be the foundation for your participation in the program. All of the coaches will be trained to focus on helping you specifically with your financial goals. The coach program is not prescriptive in telling you what you need to improve or exactly how you should go about improving that. It is about you having the tools and the support and the empowerment needed to improve in the areas that you feel are most important to you. So that's why this portion is vital. These goals should be things that are important to you, that you feel incredibly motivated to pursue. You will have the opportunity to create up to 3 goals, but one is fine if you really know exactly which one you want to focus on. Some examples of financial goals, since that's really what we're talking about here, would be things like this. Establishing an emergency savings of $500, paying down $2,000 worth of debt, improving my credit score by 30 points. So there's a few elements that need to be within your financial goals. Number one, a specific description of the goal. Number two, the amount of achievement for your target. And number three, a time frame. The time frame is going to be the same, so we're going to be talking about establishing achievements for the 9-month program. So for example, if your overall goal is to pay off your debt completely, but you know you have $30,000 worth of debt, you'd consider how much of that debt you feel you would like to be able to pay within the 9-month program. Maybe that's $2,000 or $3,000. So that's the amount you would want to use for the goal in this example. The goals must be measurable. That's why we ask that you have an amount for achievement. As I said, an amount that you want to save, an amount that you want to pay down, or an amount that you'd like to improve for your credit score. Once you establish those goals, we will be well on our way to helping you to move forward with the coach program and partnering with you to see the great success that you have ahead of you. We're really looking forward to all of the great things that will be accomplished. So finally, once again, just to reiterate where to find the assessment, we've put the link up on the screen. Hopefully that also came to you via email, so you could just simply click on that link and it will take you directly to the survey. I want to remind you once again that successful completion of this assessment is required in order to finalize your program acceptance. Once you complete the assessment, an email comes to us letting us know that you completed it, and then we can send you your official program acceptance notification. If you need further assistance or you have any questions, please feel free to contact our office by emailing me. Again, my name is Chad Rifflin, or you can call my direct number that you see on the screen, and we would be very happy to speak with you and to help facilitate your entry into the coach program. Thank you and have a fantastic day.